everyone. Welcome to PPR Podcast number 262. My name is Rudy. His name is Bert. He's the star of the podcast, but actually the star is sitting in the middle seat. Who is?
The reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Cam Purnell. Cam, how are you, sir?
Hi, Cam.
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We are well. Thank you for asking. Is it weird not to be playing football right now?
Man, it's super weird. You know, from last year, we were playing football at this time, so not playing right now, seeing everybody else playing, it hurts for real, but it's all good.
Hey, I got to ask you a question. I'll get into later the decommitment and the commitment to San Diego State, but why did you take the braids out for all of them social media posts so you commit?
You said what? My bad.
I said, why did you, when you committed on Instagram, why did you take the braids out and you had like your hair out like this?
Oh, nah. Those pictures from a while back, they just had sent me those.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was able to post on Instagram, but yeah, you know, I had to pull the curls out. That's the real Cam right there.
They were good. Did you see them?
No, I didn't. Was it?
It was out there like this.
Sort of like the Fletch.
Yeah.
It's in the movie Fletch. Before we get into the football talk, young man, because last I saw you was just 2 days ago. We were at the Granite Hills game together, and I thought I saw you with a long lens camera taking pictures. Was that somebody else's camera? Was that your camera? Do you shoot photography?
Nah, that's somebody else's camera. She works for you, Gadir. That's one of my friends. She had let me use the camera. I had to capture some of my friends from Granite, but I'll definitely pursue that. I can definitely do that for sure.
So it was a lark. You were doing that on a one and done type thing.
Yeah, it was just for fun, but
Okay.
hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because I wanted to see
His work.
I wanted to see your work if it existed or not. But all
Oh,
right.
I had some nice pictures. I'm
Really?
gonna get them for you guys. I'm gonna send
No,
it out.
hold it. I'm being serious. If you have
Nah.
some pictures, because I edit this in a couple hours, Cam, send them to me ASAP, okay? I mean, like when you're done with this, and I'll include them in our conversation. Because what is it about photography that you like?
I mean, I just like to capture the action shots. You know, I play football, so I know what time to take the pictures, like what is the best time to get the pictures. And I know like what I would want to post, so I can definitely capture those.
Cam, you imagine being us? Our action shots were in black and white.
Nah,
They
man,
have-
I don't know about that.
Cam,
Hey, that's
There's no good
that's
ones.
an edit they do nowadays.
Cam, I found under a box of stuff in the garage, I found about 30 pictures of my high school football career, and the camera
Man.
that they were using was like one of those little Kodak deals.
yeah, I remember.
You could barely make out. If you didn't know my number, you wouldn't know it was me. And now I see the stuff that you guys put on your social media, and it's
Edited.
4K, and it's like video game quality. You don't know how good you have it.
Right, nah. I definitely do. I'll be scrolling through the pictures like, wow, we got it good.
No, we used to have to, you take the picture, then you'd have to go to the photo hut. Remember at the mall, there'd be this little hut, you drop it off, and you come back like a week later, and you'd have your pictures. You didn't even know what they looked
I
like.
could imagine. I don't even want them at that point.
All right, well, Cam, let's get to the big news of the day.
Wait, I got to ask him, what'd you think of that Granite Hill game?
I mean, they started off too slow. You can't start like that in a regional game. But
Yeah.
they had it. I mean, they came back down, 28? So, I mean, that's how you know you're the better team. If they started hotter, they could possibly boot them out. But still a good, solid team, so can't hate.
Well, I would argue, just to follow up on that, they had the similar start against you guys and managed to fight their way back. What happened in your game that was different than what happened to them Saturday night?
Man, I think we just we took the foot off the gas, to be honest. We got too comfortable. I mean, if we kept attacking them, hitting them, I feel like it would have been a different outcome. But on Saturday, I mean, I think they just had their heads down too early. There's a couple guys that wanted to come back, like Parker. You could see he had that fire in him to, come back and get a win. But, when you have the sideline, heads down, not tuned into the game, that's definitely like a bad outcome.
Yeah, and they didn't have all the penalties and all the special teams mistakes against you guys that they had against them. I mean, you're right. They probably would have blown them out if they wouldn't have done any of that.
Well, I'll tell you what, was it Pacifica, the Tritons? That number 0, what was his name? The kid that just seemed like he was running down.
Phelps, wasn't it Phelps?
Phelps, something Phelps. Isaiah Phelps.
Yeah, he's the real deal.
I know you're not afraid of anybody. I know you've tackled Roderick Robinson, so you know what it's to tackle a load. But can you imagine meeting that guy in the hole?
Man, I was already thinking about it. I was on the sideline like, I don't know. He might have gave us some work too, but we would have definitely game planned for him. Made sure he didn't have all those yards.
I think he's a better linebacker than running back.
Well, obviously,
Right.
but I'm just saying he also kind of won the game with.
You want to hear the scary part? He's
Yeah.
a junior. He's not even a senior. I know.
Yeah.
Hey, on that, I'm going to ask you a question. You won Defense Player of the Year. That's 4 in a row.
Yes, sir.
And you were part of the favorite going into it. There's really no favorite for Lincoln next year. Is there any way there'll be a fifth?
Man, I think we're gonna have some surprises. You know, we got Jay Allen coming. Well, he's a junior right now. He's gonna come up. He'll probably step into my role. You know, he's a younger guy that's been playing, has some experience. So I think next year he'll have a big year. I mean, we should have some guys coming in that will definitely step up. We got Seth Purnell at backer. He could step up and make a run for Defense Player of the Year. Beaky, he's on the D line. He's under the Gene. He could be better than Gene possibly. So, you know, we got a couple guys that are like not favored, but you know, we got some underdogs that could definitely make a run.
Hold on. Who's number 44?
44, that's Beaky. His name is Jamari.
Oh, yeah, he's good. I like him.
Nice. He's super nice. He's a young guy too. Once he really locks in and just understands how dominant he could be, he's gonna be dangerous.
So let's go through them in order. Was it Josiah first?
Who was Josiah? It was Josiah. It was Jerome. Then it was Rice, Eugene.
I ran
Yep.
into Jerome on the
Cam.
sidelines at your game. Talked to him. He
Yeah.
seems to be doing well. But let's talk about those 4 players. Let's put them in a 4 box of Josiah, Jerome, Eugene, and Cam. What is the common ingredient in those guys that made them all Defensive Player of the Year?
I can tell you
Man,
that.
I think we just all had to like step up. You know, it's a different team each year, so we all had to play our role. You know, I know Josiah that year, he was dealing with injuries and, you know, he had to step up as a leader. I mean, locking in the whole season, you know, getting the guys fired up. He has that dog in him. You guys could see that from anywhere. So, you know, he just had to step up as a leader that year. You know, LJ Neck the same year after, he had a whole bunch of young guys. I was a sophomore at that time. So, you know, he had to like take a lead and understand everybody's role in defense. Next year, Gene, he's a dog. You know, he blew up every run, any pass. So it's hard to like not give him a defense player of the year if that makes sense. And then me, I know I just had the same thing as JoJo, kind of step up as leader, you know. And then from LJ, I got the smarts. You know, he really set the foundation to watch film and study and just understand what's going on. And then Gene just taught me that dog. And so, you know, everything. I mean, we all had like similar traits, but in total, like it's all just stepping up as leaders for sure.
I think they're all predators. I mean, you see a lot of people on defense that take certain angles, or if they're on the other side of the field, they stop. All 4 of them would just, they want to be the one to knock you out. Not a lot of high school kids like that.
No. If you're lucky, you have 1 or 2 on your team.
Yeah.
Lincoln's got a roster.
A bunch, yeah.
Right. Nah, we definitely, that's what we highlight. We got to be the dogs on the field. So,
And you get to be back with Josiah next year at State.
oh yeah, for sure. It's going to be fun. I mean, I need that fire. I like somebody to turn me up. I'm more of a quiet guy. So having that fire by the side of me is going to be fun for sure.
So if Oregon State wouldn't have fired their head coach, would you be at Oregon State right now, or would you think you would have flipped?
I would evaluate it more. I kind of had my mindset on, you know, going somewhere else. But once they fired the head coach and then fired the position guy that was recruiting me, it's kind of like there's no point of going there, you know. Don't want to go into a school that doesn't really know me for real.
So then, how does that work? The news comes down. I'm sure you were following it because you knew that the coach was in trouble, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The decision is made. Then does your phone start to ring, or do you start to make calls? How does it work that suddenly you're going to the Mesa?
Honestly, you know, San Diego State's been in touch with me for a long time. I mean, throughout this whole season, they've been really tuned in with my game. So, you know, it wasn't really too hard of a decision to really make. But honestly, just making calls with my coaches, you know, the people that trusted me and like know what's best for me. We just were in touch, and then they ultimately decided it was best for me to go there. I believe it was best for me too. I get a shot to play. You know, I'm playing for San Diego. I mean, that's a big upside. They're always going to have an advantage over anybody else. I'm from here, so.
So then, I guess, and please excuse this, if this is a dumb question, then.
It's gonna
Nah,
be.
you're good.
It's
No,
gonna
no,
be.
no, because I just don't understand your world. Is why not start at SDSU and go? What made Oregon State more attractive than SDSU? Was it money?
That
or-
wasn't dumb. That was a good question,
Nah.
Paul.
At the time, when I went up there, I had visited. I just liked it out there. It felt like a place where I could really ball. They don't have too many distractions out there, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
all they
well,
got is football, and I mean, I just want to play football if that makes sense. I don't like to, get into the outside stuff. So at that time, it felt right. The coach expressed to me how he felt I could come in and play right away, so that immediately got to my head. If that makes sense.
yeah, it makes sense. But had SDSU come at you stronger before Oregon State, before you had the Oregon State lead, would you might have been an Aztec right from the get-go?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, SDSU, they were in touch with me, but they really made a run towards the end. Oregon State was constant. He came out to see me at a game and stuff. So yeah,
That makes
Oregon
sense.
State was on me for much longer and more intense.
Got it.
You said something. Good.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and you mentioned distractions. I always question how 18-year-old kids can get a lot of money and go play in Miami, and actually be
Right.
focused on football, and you're in South Beach making a lot of money and you're 18. How do you focus on football?
Well, you and I would be dead.
Oh yeah, we'd be dead.
We'd be dead. I mean,
I'd have fun, but I'd be dead.
yeah. Well, you die with a smile on your face, but we'd be dead. And young man, I have nothing but respect for all your fellow athletes because what you have to deal with is far greater than. This guy was one of the most recruited people on the planet.
So
I keep telling the story over, but it's just he had 100 D1 offers in a variety of
Man.
sports. Yeah, so I mean, this guy knows what it's like to be the prettiest girl at the dance, and yet.
Our
Your life-
days would be a $100 bill.
Yeah,
now it's 100,000.
Yeah, your day was simpler compared to what,
Oh, yeah, it
what
was.
Cam has to do.
Yeah, but just ask for cash.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a big amount. You get like $100 here, there, the handshake. But nothing like today is just insane.
All right, so let me get into the barbaric part of this conversation, Cam, and you don't have to answer any question I ask if you feel it's too personal. But how does that work now with NIL money? Does that come up in your conversations? And if so, are you putting a number down, or are they saying this is what we pay? How does it all work?
honestly, it depends how more popular you are. You got the Brandon Arringtons and the Honors. Those guys are getting some pay. They're getting paid a lot. So it starts with the the GMs and stuff. They tell you how much they're gonna offer. If you're one of those guys, they're gonna offer you more. So for me, I'm a 3-star. I'm coming in. They're not speaking too much of NIL. Realistically, I don't like to speak on money because I don't want them to think I'm just coming here for money. But that's the reality of it. So we get a number that we're they project we're gonna get that year. But it all depends on your play, to be honest. So depending on what we do coming in, that's where you get more money.
And it's year to year anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you get
Right.
big money your first year and you do nothing, you're not getting big money your second year.
Right, they're gonna let you go. It's a business now. It's definitely crazy, but
And is that fun? Or I mean, I guess it'd be. Look,
motivation.
I was flat broke my all 5 years. I was in college for 5 years, and I never had. If I had $20 in my pocket, I thought I was rich.
Man,
but then again, a
that's
beer
awesome.
costs a
nickel.
quarter. Yeah. So, but does that take the fun out of it? Does that take the fun out of football?
I mean, it definitely makes it more scary. You want to get on the field right away. The reality of it is schools aren't really developing no more. So the lower schools, the group of 5 schools, are definitely getting more players now because players want to go in and play so they could get paid. So it's it don't take the fun from it. Some kids take it as it's deserving. In my opinion, I think it's too much. I don't think athletes should get paid as much. It takes over all college football. College football is crazy now. But in reality, it helps for sure. College costs a lot, so you can't complain.
Yeah, and it's almost, we've seen the last 4 or 5 years, it's almost impossible to get recruited now out of high school. I mean, you really have to
Yeah.
be
Do you
that
realize
guy.
what an elite group you are in? Just the fact that because there's 10,000, 20,000 kids in the portal. How many kids are in the portal right now?
Yeah.
A lot.
And with no disrespect, but why would you take a flyer on a high school kid if there was a
Right.
kid that's got 2 years of tape down at the collegiate level?
Right. That's what it is. And the reality for coaches is it's 1 year for them too. They got to bring in guys. So it kind of takes an effect on high school kids. Not a lot of high school kids get offers because of the portal. But in reality, I mean, the coaches got to do what they got to do.
I don't know if I could survive today. You realize, all right, Cam, I was the 8th pick in the first round, out of the draft, and my first year salary was $250,000.
Their kids are making.
There's high school kids making triple that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even imagine being that age and getting that money. That would
But that was also during a time when the average salary out was $40,000 a year.
I'm not that old. That's your generation. I would average then. What are you talking about? Man.
Well. I mean, it was still big money.
Not really. I mean, if you're in California, you get half that after taxes. That's not big money to play in the NFL. I did get $1 million signing bonus, but
Well, you always leave that part out of the conversation.
I did. I'm sorry.
How much of that money is still around?
None. What are you kidding? The same as when I was 18. I haven't changed. I wouldn't be able to handle that money now, let alone 18.
All right, Cam. So, besides football, you just alluded to the fact that you don't have a lot of outside interests. Do you have any academic interests? And what are the academic requirements now at the collegiate level? Now that you're you're basically an employee of the school.
Right.
Do you even have to go to class anymore?
I mean, if you're kind of like a guy, I think you probably can't go to class. You know, college kids are highlighted nowadays, so a lot of kids want to, take pictures and stuff. So it's a distraction. But for me, man, I like to write. I like to type. So when I go to class, I mean, my English class is probably my favorite class. Now, when I get to college, I'm doing kinesiology, so I want to learn about my body. But school is definitely like a main part that you got to focus on. So that's how I kind of take it as.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, it's funny because we asked Rocky Cummings last week when he went to Texas if Arch Manning goes to class, and he tried to tell us he does go to class, which I don't believe.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. There's no way, especially a kid with like the history behind his name. There's too many kids that are like excited to see him, if that makes sense. I wouldn't want to live with having to take pictures right away as soon as it's school. I'm not going to be too excited to go to school anyways, but.
Well, I've told this story in this forum before, but an athlete you would recognize the name of, a prominent defensive player from a few years back, was going to I don't want to give too much away but anyhow, he went to a school with a very famous coach in the I don't know if they're the Big 12. I don't know where they were.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
I'll tell you. Anyhow, and the coaches there said, son, because he wanted to go to class, and they said, no, you're here to play football. And they dissuaded him from going to class. And this is like 3 years ago, I believe, 2 to 3 years ago. So I can imagine it's only gotten worse. And to me, I don't know.
Doesn't seem right.
It doesn't. I still I believe in the tooth fairy. I think student athlete is still a real thing. And now you're just an athlete, are you not?
No, definitely. I mean, you take a lot from the school to the field, Learning how to study is definitely a big part in football too. I mean, guys that know how to study work know how to study film. So, it adds up. Guys that know how to show up and be on time, it goes to meetings and stuff. So I think there's like a correlation between those that you need to learn how to do before you make it like big time. That makes sense.
Hey, I want to go back to your Granite game. Give me on the bus ride on the way home. Was it shock? Was it pissed off? Was it setting in that a lot of those kids, that's the last game they're ever going to play? What was it like on the bus?
Honestly, I think it was more of like a anger. A lot of us, everybody knew we had that one, but a lot of those kids are young, so they're looking more into the future, if that makes sense. Majority of our starters were young, but like the senior guys, the guys that's been there, it hurt us. We really wanted to get back on Granite because they beat us 2 years back, and I played in that game, so I know how it felt. But yeah, losing the game was crazy, but the guys will get it next year for sure.
And the crazy part was the last time you had them up 14-0 too, same as this time. Yeah.
It's like a pattern. It's crazy. Full circle.
Yeah, I don't think people realize. I think you guys only returned from last year, just you and Prince, the starters, right?
Yeah. On the defense side, just me and Prince. Offense side, I believe just Nino and Jesus. So this is a whole new team, and they're all young, like whole new team. This kind of reminds me of the year that we had lost to Granite. If that makes sense. Like it was just LJ and Micah, seniors on the team, on defense at least. So.
Hey, I don't know if you stuck around after you got your award, but the moment with Prince and his mom on the stage, man, there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Prince and his mom been battling that all year. He had missed a game early in the year. Like, it's been a lot of battles, and things they've been going through throughout the year that nobody knows about. So, for him being able to go on stage and express that, breaking down is like, honestly shows how strong Prince is. Emotionally, he's been like the emotional leader this year. He's not afraid to break down and get on people. Like, we definitely know what's been going on with his mom, but, he highlighted it that night for everybody to see. And the things he's doing outside of that, I mean, it's amazing. Being able to do like the Resilient Foundation while having your mom going through sickness, like, that just shows you the type of kid he is.
Hey, did you have fun at the gala?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I was nervous. I didn't know if I was going to win. I thought I had a good chance, but, you never know. I got up to the stage, got nervous. Yeah, it was fun, though, for sure.
And you had the best group, no offense, Bert, but you had the best group of presenters. You were on stage with Eric Weddle,
Yeah.
Sean Merriman, and nobody was looking at those two because they were all looking at Lauren Finney.
Yeah. Nah, Eric Weddle, my guy, too, so him being up there and being able to announce that, yeah, that's definitely cool.
I have more sacks than Sean Merriman. How you even say
You
that?
had more sex?
Sacks.
Oh.
Okay. I see you.
I thought you said.
He said I had more sex.
All right. Hey, talk to the youngsters out there. Talk to the young Lincoln Hornet folks out there who want to be the next Cam Purnell, maybe want to be the 7th or 8th Defensive Player of the Year. What's your advice to them?
Honestly, it starts in the off season. People don't really know how important it is to just lock in throughout the whole year. Well, Lincoln, we do 7-on-7, so it starts early. Just being in, buying into the program, that's something big. Being able to listen and be coachable is definitely like the main thing that takes you far. For me, I just wanted to be the smartest. It started in the film room. I took advantage of that this year. Honestly, just wish I ran track. That's the main thing. And just being a dog. Just wanting to be out there, be at practice, get better every day. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Do you bring it up 7-on-7? Do you like 7-on-7? Because everybody acts like a dog in 7-on-7, and then you get pads, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, personally, I don't like it as much. I think it's mainly for the receivers. They're able to run around, they're free. And it's too much like social media stuff that goes into it. Everybody's just doing it for the clips. And as a DB, it's tough. But, I think you're able to sharpen your craft out there and just get really team chemistry on defense. If you could cover in 7-on-7, you could cover in pads. So,
do you think coaches value recruiters? Let me change that. Not coaches, recruiters. Do you think recruiters are looking at 7-on-7 tape, or do you think is that just for clicks and views on social media?
Yeah, I think, like 50-50 kind of. You could show your athleticism in 7-on-7, but you really don't see how much of a football player a kid is in 7-on-7. You could just have like the smallest, fastest kid out there frying everybody, but then you get to the pads, people put hands on them, it's not the same. So, I think you can show some traits, but definitely not like your full potential in 7-on-7.
All right, well, last question. How do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as a versatile guy, going from corner to safety. I just want to be remembered as a person that was able to do it all, not only on the field, but just someone that's a good person outside of football as well. I want to, when I'm able to give back to the community and do stuff for my people, that's something I want to do. I want to be remembered as a Lincoln Hornet that was well respected, respectful as well. Just a good person in total.
And there's only one reason you get moved from corner to safety. You know that reason, right?
Nah, what's that reason?
What's the reason?
That means you're the hardest hitter on the team. Nobody wants to waste that on a corner.
Nah, right. That's how I felt. I was, going to corner, we play a lot of man. I'm just locking up the best guy out there all game. It's kind of boring. So switching to safety, I was able to show my potential for sure.
Yeah, you can't run off a safety.
Man, not at all. That's what they used to do at corner. It was definitely boring, but
yeah.
Cam, we're going to call it a conversation. This is what you're going to do for me.
Yes,
I
sir.
want pictures.
He already sent them.
The pictures he took?
Oh, no. You sent him the other pictures, right?
yeah, I sent them the football pictures.
All right. Camera pictures. Just in the event I use that clip, I want those as soon as you can.
Yes, sir.
And then to P. Rudy, email them to me, okay?
Yep, I got you. I will.
And just know that I've enjoyed getting to know you, young man, and you're very easy to root for. I think you've got a good head on your shoulders, And to the adults in your life, give them a hug, because kids like you don't happen by accident. You have some real good people in your world, and embrace them and thank them, because I'm just telling you how it is. I see kids every day, and I've been doing this for 40 years. Kids like you are rare. So thank you for being a friend of the PPR, and thanks for doing this podcast, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for everything.
All right, PPR Podcast
Thanks,
262 is over. Turn off the machines, everybody.